All right, man, let's just cut through the bullshit right from the jump. You've been lied to. Attraction isn't about money, isn't about looks, and it's damn sure not about being nice. We've all seen those guys, right? The ones who flash cash, the ones who spend hours in the gym sculpting themselves into some kind of Adonis, or the ones who are so damn agreeable they practically blend into the wallpaper. And yet, they're striking out, or worse. They're attracting the wrong kind of attention, the superficial kind that evaporates the second the circumstances change. Here's what actually works. It's not some magic pill, it's not some pickup line you memorize from a shady corner of the internet. It's deeper than that. It's about the fundamental wiring, the primal stuff that's been driving human connection since we were living in caves and figuring out fire. We're talking about the core of who you are, the vibe you put out into the world without even trying. It's about understanding the subtle cues, the unspoken language that women are incredibly attuned to. This isn't about manipulation. It's about genuine, authentic presence. So if you're tired of the games, tired of the confusion, and you're ready to understand what truly resonates on a level that most guys never even scratch the surface of, then stick around. We're going to peel back the layers on this thing. We're going to talk about the stuff that isn't always comfortable, the stuff that requires some actual self-reflection. But man, when you get it, it's a game changer. Not just in dating, but in how you carry yourself through life. Let's get into it. 20. So let's talk about this stress thing, man. It's like a goddamn beacon. Women smell stress like blood in the water. And I don't mean they're consciously sniffing it out like a bloodhound, but on a primal, intuitive level, they pick up on it. Think about it from an evolutionary perspective. Stress signals instability. It signals a lack of resources, a lack of control. And historically, that's not exactly a green flag if you're looking for a partner who can, handle shit when it hits the fan. It's a subtle thing, but it's powerful. When you're constantly reacting, flying off the handle at every little inconvenience, or just radiating this nervous, anxious energy, it's a repellent. It's like you're broadcasting to the world, I can't cope, I'm overwhelmed, and who wants to sign up for that? But here's the flip side. When you stop reacting, when you cultivate that inner calm, that's when they start watching. It's not about being emotionless like some kind of robot. It's about being centered. There's a huge difference between being careless and being carefree. Careless is just immaturity, it's recklessness, it's not giving a damn about consequences, and that's a whole other kind of turn-off. No, we're talking about carefree. That's the vibe of unshakable confidence. It's knowing that whatever life throws at you, you can handle it, you've got this. This carefree state, this stress-free mindset, it comes from a place of genuine self-assurance. It's not faked. You can't just pretend to be calm if inside you're a raging inferno of anxiety. They'll see right through that. It's about doing the internal work. Maybe it's meditation, maybe it's hitting the gym to burn off that cortisol, maybe it's just getting your life organized so you're not constantly putting out fires. Whatever it is, finding that equilibrium is key. 27. All right, let's dismantle this whole nice guy myth, because man, it's doing a lot of dudes a disservice. There's this idea floating around that if you're just super nice, accommodating, and agreeable all the time, women will magically fall for you. Bullshit, complete and utter bullshit. What often happens is that these nice guys end up in the friend zone, or worse, they get taken advantage of because they haven't learned the crucial difference between being kind and being a doormat. Nice guys, in the way we're talking about it here, often operate from a place of seeking validation. They're nice with an agenda. They're hoping their niceness will be transactional. I do this for you, so you owe me affection or attention. That's not genuine kindness, that's a covert contract, and women can smell that insincerity a mile away. It feels needy, it feels weak, and frankly, it's a little manipulative. They're essentially begging for attention through acts of service or constant agreement. High-value men, on the other hand, command respect. And here's the kicker. It starts with how they treat, especially people who can't directly help them or offer them anything in return. Think about how a man treats the waiter, the janitor, the person asking for directions. Is he dismissive, arrogant, or is he respectful and considerate? This isn't just about good manners, though that's part of it. This is about character, deep ingrained character. Women test this, man. They watch. They might not even realize they're doing it consciously, but they are. They're observing how you interact with the world around you, because it gives them a massive insight into who you truly are when the pressure's off, when you think no one important is looking. If you're a dick to the barista but then turn on the charm for her, that's a huge red flag. It shows inconsistency, it shows a lack of integrity. True respect isn't something you switch on and off, it's a fundamental part of how you operate, and it begins with self-respect. 27. Chapter 3. The Silent Leader. How true influence speaks volumes. Now let's talk about leadership. And I'm not talking about the dude who's always grandstanding, giving speeches, or trying to be the loudest voice in the room. That's often just ego talking. Real leadership, the kind that women are instinctively drawn to, is much quieter, much more subtle. It's the quiet certainty that makes others to follow. It's not about coercion or dominance, it's about influence and inspiration. Women don't want control, man, that's a misconception. They don't want a guy who's going to dictate every little thing or try to micromanage their lives. That's suffocating. What they often respond to on a deep level is a man who naturally takes responsibility, who can make a decision when a decision needs to be made, who has a sense of direction, not just for himself, but in a way that makes her feel safe and considered. Think about it in everyday situations. You're out with a group and no one can decide where to eat. The silent leader isn't the one shouting down other suggestions. He might listen, then calmly say, "Hey, I know this great little spot, good food, good vibe, how about we check that out?" He offers a solution, he takes initiative, but he's not being a dictator. He's providing direction, and often people are relieved to have someone step up. This kind of leadership is about presence. It's about being the guy who, when shit gets confusing or chaotic, remains a point of stability. He's not flustered. He assesses the situation, he thinks clearly, and he acts decisively but not impulsively. There's a thoughtfulness to his actions. He's not just reacting, he's responding with intention. This ability to navigate uncertainty with a calm head is incredibly attractive. 25. Chapter 4. Scent Subtlety. The art of drawing her in, not pushing her away. Alright, let's get into something that might seem superficial, but man, it's wired into our damn DNA scent. Forget those ridiculous cologne commercials where the guy sprays himself and suddenly he's drowning in a sea of supermodels. That's not how it works. In fact, that's usually how you achieve the opposite effect. The goal with scent isn't to announce your arrival from 3 blocks away. It's far more subtle, far more primal than that. The key, and I can't stress this enough, is 1 spray. Max. Maybe 2 if it's a really light scent and you're going to be in a wide open space, but generally less is so much more. You want her leaning in to catch your scent, to get a little closer, not recoiling because she's choking on a chemical cloud you've enveloped yourself in. It's about creating an inviting aura, not a biohazard zone. Think about it. Smell is one of the most powerful senses tied to memory and emotion. A faint, pleasant scent can be incredibly alluring, intriguing even. It becomes part of your signature, something uniquely associated with you. But if you overdo it, you just smell like a guy who's trying way too hard, or worse, a guy who's trying to cover something up. It screams insecurity. The best approach is to aim for a scent that complements your natural body chemistry, not one that completely masks it. And this is where it gets personal. What smells amazing on one guy might not work for another. It's worth experimenting a little, finding something that feels right for you, something that's clean, maybe a little woody, a little spicy, but never ever overpowering. The idea is that it's discovered, not broadcast. Imagine she's close to you, maybe you're talking or you lean in to tell her something. 25. Chapter 5, the arsenal of attraction rapid-fire traits that actually matter. All right, let's hit some rapid-fire traits, man. These are things that when you cultivate them just make you a more compelling, interesting, and attractive human being. First up, humor. And I'm not talking about being a stand-up comedian, memorizing jokes, or constantly trying to be on. That can get exhausting for everyone. I'm talking about timing, about wit, about the ability to see the absurdity in life and share that in a way that connects. It's about being able to laugh at yourself first and foremost, not taking yourself too damn seriously. It's about playful banter, quick comebacks that aren't mean-spirited, and just generally having a light-hearted approach to things. This kind of humor shows intelligence, it shows social awareness, and it's incredibly disarming. It makes people feel comfortable around you. It's a sign you're not wound too tight, that you can roll with the punches. Next, fitness. And hold on, before you think six-pack abs, that's not the primary driver here, though it can be a byproduct. This is about energy. It's about vitality. When you take care of your physical self, when you're active, when you eat reasonably well, you just have more energy. You feel better. You project that vitality. It's not about looking like a fitness model. It's about having the stamina and the zest for life, which then naturally becomes attractive. Think about it. Someone who's constantly tired, lethargic, and out of shape, that doesn't exactly scream life partner material, does it? It suggests a lack of discipline, maybe a lack of self-care. Conversely, someone who has that physical energy, who's up for an adventure, who can keep up, that's inherently more appealing. It's a signal of health, of capability. It's primal. 26. Outro the man you become. So we've covered a lot of ground, man. From the mindset you carry to the way you command respect, the subtle art of leadership, even how you smell, and the traits that genuinely resonate. It's not about a checklist of things to do to get the girl. That's a losing strategy from the start. This is about a fundamental shift in who you are, how you operate, and how you present yourself to the world, authentically. It's about building yourself into a man of substance. The truth is, attraction isn't conquered, it's earned. By the man you become when no one's watching. It's in the quiet work you do on yourself, building your character, honing your skills, cultivating your inner calm, and learning to respect yourself so deeply that it naturally radiates outwards. It's about integrity. It's about genuine confidence, not a manufactured facade. It's the small decisions, the consistent effort, the commitment to being a better version of yourself every day. This journey, this process of becoming, that's where the real magic lies. Because when you focus on that, when you build that solid core of who you are, the attraction part tends to take care of itself. It becomes a natural byproduct of you living a more fulfilling, more principled, and more engaged life. So take this stuff, think about it, internalize it, and start applying it. Not as a set of tactics, but as a blueprint for becoming the kind of man you genuinely respect and admire. The rest will follow.